What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're here this week for our first video. We have successfully acquired, as of Thursday morning when the truck came in to our local Toys R Us here in Canada, the 80th anniversary of Marvel, the Marvel Legends Avengers Infinity War 2-pack with the Iron Man Mark 50 and the Iron Spider. After Luis and Ghost, this is the one I've been waiting for because, oh my goodness, this Mark 50 and this Mark 50, wah wah wah, just not good enough. Not good enough. I was very apologetic for them. Like I took them because I couldn't leave them. Like I had to get them. But now that we have this beautiful piece right here, no, this is it. This is the one. And you can see I have in advance of its official release. I'm just kidding. This is the 2012 Captain America that's getting re-released in the Dude Thor, Fat Thor wave. This is the one. Exactly the same cap. He's getting the newer shield. He's not getting the old shield. And then instead of this head, it's going to come with the quantum suit Captain America head, which is actually not very good. Not a very good Captain America head. It would be better if it was sculpted more like this, because the quantum suit one it just doesn't cut it. Like, obviously this is not accurate. They'd have to go back to a little... You can't even see that. Anyway, the paint apps would have to be different, but it'd be nicer to get a better sculpt than the quantum suit headed Captain America on that one. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about this 2-pack. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Let's just dive right in, shall we? We have here in our hands a beautiful specimen in the Mark 50 suit of armor with the shield, and the much maligned and griped about Iron Spider that initially came with absolutely nothing. No accessories, not even a peg hole in his back for the extra arms. Literally nothing in the first Thanos Build-A-Figure wave. Came with no accessories whatsoever. So, this one comes with the arms and a Tom Holland head, which is very important because people have been realizing that the only other Tom Holland head that Hasbro has ever done, I'm knocking figures over, was this one, and I haven't even opened it yet. So, there's only 2 Tom Holland Hasbro created head sculpts in existence. Here's the Iron Spider armor on this side. Looking fresh. Smells like a new car in here. And we've got the Iron Man Mark 50. Oh, you like that, Bruce? It's nanotech. And we've got some bios on the back. Nanotech. Very nice. And Iron Spider, also nanotech. But if it's nanotech, why does it smell like a new car? This is my question, to which I will not get an answer, I'm sure. Which one do I like more, this one or this one? I think we're going to open this side. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Let's get in here. Let's get this done. I want to see these figures on my shelf, fully displayed in their awesomeness. I can feel already. This video is a little different because I actually have energy. I'm not half asleep. It's only 9:15 instead of the usual like 1 a.m. when I'm doing my videos. So this packaging comes in 2 trays. You drop the bottom tray and you're left with the figures with some accessories. The bottom tray has the super cool Mark 50, I don't even know what you'd call these, nano blasters, and the Iron Spider legs, additional legs, which are pretty cool. Let's pop these out now. And do it carefully, just in case. Don't want to break them. Do not want to break the Iron Spider legs. Got to be careful. Got to be... I don't care how detailed they are or how articulated they are. They will be sufficient. My only concern is that they are durable. That is my number one concern with these Iron Spider legs. This is interesting. I have never... Let me think. I have never seen Hasbro use clear plastic to make a floating effect in any MCU figures. They might have done it in Okay, they detach. They're not glued. I had automatically assumed they'd all be glued as one piece, but apparently that's not the case. So the little ones come off rather easily. The big guys appeared to be glued on. Yes, that appears to be true. Okay, so don't try to force the big guys off. Unless you're brave, unless you don't care. Those appear to be... Oh, never mind. They do not appear to be adhered. So they come off. That's interesting. I don't know if I just broke it or if... No, there's no residue. Usually when glue gets cracked or goes bad, there's some like whitening left behind. Like a white dust almost that doesn't come off, but there's none of that. So these are detachable, which is nice. Very, very nice. Always nice to have modular pieces, so if something happens, it falls off a shelf, it's easy fix. You just pressure put them all back together and Bob's your uncle. So there we go. There's this really cool little nanotech blast piece. I'm a fan. I like it. I am a fan. I'm not going to be getting the hot toys of the Mark 50 because I want to get the hot toy of the Mark 85. So this is it. Like this Mark 50, this is going to be my Mark 50. I doubt they're going to make another one after this one. I don't want to break the lobster hands. Come on. Oh my goodness, it's literally like impossible to get them out. Okay, there we go. There was so much material covering his head and covering the lobster arms. I didn't want to wreck them. Why does mine have a bent finger? Multiple bent fingers? Look at this. He broke his hand. You broke his finger. They broke Tony Stark's finger in the package. You guys see that? Look at that finger. That don't look right. That looks painful. I'm gonna have to fix that with a hairdryer and hope for the best, I guess. That's unfortunate. We will not be doing an articulation review of these figures because they're identical sculpts. As we can see, chest piece is identical, shoulder, bicep, elbow. They added the peg hole on the back of this one, which is a nice touch. Everything else, whoops, such a lousy Mark 50. Look at the paint difference, guys. Like, this is the color we deserved the first go around. Unfortunately, the paint apps aren't that great on the heads. And all of the helmets that I saw 3. Only 2 of which I could choose from. I didn't even bother picking the better one because I was more concerned with the Tom Holland head sculpt. So I didn't even have the opportunity to get a half decent Mark 50 helmet because they were both pretty lousy. It was unfortunate. It was a sad day. But I was pretty happy with the Tom Holland head, so I'll show you that in just a second. Let me get these fisted hands out of here. I think the Hot Toys version of the Mark 50 with the lobster hands, when you put the lobster attachments on, that's it for the hands. Like, they don't have any additional hands for these, for their figure. So I wonder what this is going to look like if I pop the hands off and just have the lobster attachments. Do these even come off, I wonder? Are we in focus? We're in focus. They look like they come off. Let's go ahead and give that a try. I don't know how you do it though, because the hand is pegged in. Did they do? Okay, so they didn't do a very aggressive peg. If I hold this here, you should be able to see. Sometimes they taper out a lot more at the bottom here. They're hand pegs, like on the first 10 years sets, they taper out really, really aggressively, but this one doesn't seem to be tapered too much. So ideally, this should. Don't ruin the Tom Holland head sculpt already, man. These should come off quite easily. Keyword being should. Whoa. That's not what I expected to have happen. So the lobster attachment came off, but the hand stayed on. Very interesting. Oh wow, it's not even articulated. Which I think is the same as this one, right? Okay, well that makes sense, because it's the same sculpt. Exactly the same hand. Of course, this one's got a broken finger, but... Oh, I gotta heat that up. That does not look good at all. As I put pressure on it, it looks like I'm gonna break it. Wah, wah, wah. That sucks. It's okay, it comes with an extra hand. We'll put the... So, how does this look? It looks okay from the side. Like, I like it like this better from the side, but at the front you can tell that he's got no hand. I wonder if there's any value in putting some kind of, just like a black piece in here to fill that cavity, or maybe just wrap this in like a little tiny bit of black fabric, and then you won't be able to see it straight on. It'll just look like it's hollow, because having the hand in the lobster mouth just doesn't make sense for posing for photos and what have you. Like, being able to see the hand is like, what? That doesn't make sense. Because when he does this, it like envelops the whole hand. All right, let's try it. Getting this side out now. Looks like all these fingers are bad. So you just put some pressure and just pull. It comes off. The hand does not. Pull the hand out. Where's the... There it is. Here's the fist. That is very thin on this side. Lots of material on this side, but very thin on this side. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So let's get them all posed up. I want this shoulder to move in more. Okay, move up a little bit. That's about it. I don't think it moved very much. Because otherwise he's not aiming straight ahead. This arm is off to the side. See what I mean? Oh well. I did the best I could, I guess. Oh, and the paint app. Right, I was going to show you that. Let's get back close again for a second here. Look at the blue. It's like bleeding to the edge of the mask. The same problem I think we had with... No, this is the good one. This is from the 3-pack, I think, because I can't recall now. They were the same, the 3-pack and the single pack one, but the same kind of problems with the blue on the side. There's just too much of it, so it bleeds out on the side of the eyes. So same problem with this one. Doesn't look so hot because of that. He's wearing too much eye makeup. You know how it is. Which way is up? I think this way is up. Yeah, with his hand sticking out, that just looks weird. It doesn't look right at all. Okay, let's go like this. I'm gonna warm up this shoulder and try to pose it properly. I'm not satisfied with that. And let's throw this on here. Is that too low? Should I raise that the other way? That looks better, right? I'm gonna have to check a movie still. I can't recall which orientation looks better. Here's also the shield that he comes with. Just clips onto the arm. I won't pose him with that. And I guess I'm not gonna pose him with these hands because these fingers are pretty crazy. Both of them, they got the same issue. They're all warped and janky looking. So I'm gonna have to fix that. And the shield's just gonna go away. And because we don't have anywhere to plug these, I'm not gonna be able to use the blast effects because the hands didn't work out. So it's gonna be how he sits on the shelf for the time being. I think that's about it for the Mark 50. What we should do though is pose him next to his predecessors. Oh, one thing I want to point out too. The paint color is improved, vastly improved. I don't think this is right. I think it's supposed to go like this. There's two tones on the leg here. You can tell that the legs are a different color. This is more of like a hot rod red, and this is more of like the deeper kind of, I don't know. You can tell though the legs are a totally different color than the rest of the figure. The arms seem to match with their color, but the rest of the legs are definitely off on their color. So I wanted to just quickly point that out before we do a final comparison here. There he is with the single packed Mark 50. The plastic on this one isn't very good for some reason. He's like super loose. Like he was sitting on the shelf at Walmart way too long. Or sitting in the truck too long or something, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Night and day though, look at these two figures. Look at the contrast between these guys. Like this is what we want, Hasbro. If you ever, for some strange reason, if you ever watch this is what we want. This is as if it stepped off the screen, stepped right out of the screen. This is a great physical representation, but the colors just don't work. The colors just don't work. So, thank you. Thank you for bringing us this Mark 50. I love it. I'm super, super pleased with it. The light up was a nice touch. The light up arc reactor, except it's the wrong color. It shouldn't be blue, it should be white. That's from the 3-pack with Thanos and Doctor Strange. But, you know, they do what they can. They do what they can. One more quick comparison. I'm really liking this Iron Man more and more. I don't know why. I think the just the build quality on it, it's like one of the best Iron Man figures that we've gotten from Hasbro, the Mark 46 from Civil War. I just really like it. I just think it's a great figure. So there's a little comparison. Yeah, there you go. So there's those two. Now let's get cracking on the Iron Spider, because this one is again like huge improvement over what we got before. So in the first Thanos wave, I do have a review of him actually I should add that to the description of this video. Oh, look at this. Look at this. You guys see this? Let's get close. You see how there's no gap? There's barely a gap here on this thigh. Look at the gap on this thigh. So what do we try to do here? We try to fix it. We try to put some pressure on it. Ugh. Nothing. We've got a huge thigh gap there. That sucks. That's really, really frustrating. Let's compare these two. Let's put this guy's arms down to start with. No additional hands, unfortunately. So you only get thwipping hands with Iron Spiders from Hasbro for whatever reason. But as you can see, we actually have the arm bracers now that we didn't get before. The head is the same, the torso is the same. This looks different. This looks like these come from different molds on the abs. Legs are the same. I might be able to swap. Well, I might be able to fix this. If I pull this leg off and then empty out scrape out the inside of the leg, I might be able to get this to fit better. Hopefully. That would be ideal. So the arms are the biggest difference along with the back. So we wanted to get the extra legs, Iron Spider legs, and now we have them. And here they are. Are they different lengths is the next question. These ones appear to be the same length. This appears to be the same length. This appears to be okay, that's fine. Typical Hasbro form, they're all the same length, which is fine. That's not a deal breaker. This is interesting though. Look at this peg. Look at the size difference here. Look at that. Once that goes in, you do not want to take that out. That is a big size difference. Yeah, all of them. And then the articulation is interesting. This one, I guess, is going to pivot in the back, and then it's got a ball. Oh, if it'll even pivot. It'll be easier to do it once it's in his back, but I don't want to break it either way. And then this one pivots and has some articulation this way, and then this one pivots. Oh, these are soft plastic. Very soft, and articulates this way, and then this one's got nothing. This is very soft. Interesting choice. All right, enough talk. Let's plug them in. Oh man, I don't want to break them though. Okay, there's number one. Did I mess up? Does that not go there? Do they go in different places? I thought they were all the same. Or did I bend it putting it in? Wouldn't you want this to be on the other side? Why is it open on this side? Wouldn't you want to have more articulation on this side? Let's go like this now. I don't know. They might be left and right, and I didn't look closely enough to see if they are left and right. That will be on me. That will be my fault, obviously. Can't blame Hasbro for that one. That seems like there's more articulation that way. I just flipped it around again. Let's keep her going. What the heck, man? Look at the extra flashing on this. You can see it in the camera. I'm gonna have to clean that off. That's not acceptable. Okay, I haven't done anything like this with this camera yet, so this may not turn out. Crazy. So this happens when the mold that they're that they're injecting the plastic into has just a little bit of a gap in it. Whether that's caused by not having enough pressure or there being contamination in the mold, like something's in the way, that's when you get flashing like this. And it helps to clean it out, especially when it's a moving joint. Like, look at this. I'm not going to throw that iron spider leg on there with this stuff in the way. There's no way. Just take a little blade, scrape it out. If you're not comfortable with blades or you're too young to be using blades, please get help from an adult. Or you can use a file. A file will do the same job, much safer for the plastic and for you. The only reason I'm using a blade is because I've done this a lot for plastic models and such things. And I know I'm not going to cut myself. Alright, here we go. And the last one. Yeah, this one's got some flashing on it too. It's not as bad though. This one's acceptable, but the other one was just too much. Way too much. So these pegs do appear to be bigger, these ones that I'm putting in on the bottom. I did not do that deliberately, that just kind of happened by accident. But if that's the way it's supposed to be, then awesome. Some assembly required. My goodness, that was actually stressful and kind of hard to do. Does it look right is the question. That was the packaging making that sound. That was not me. These gauntlets get in the way of him whipping. I wonder if they're removable. Okay, let's get him standing. So without a doubt, a big improvement over this guy. We've got more screen accuracy. We've got the extra iron spider legs. Love it. Looks great. Much, much better. This guy is obsolete completely now. Let's bring in a very good comparison. I've got him on a flight stand. I'm going to take him off because it's not fair. He gets a cool pose and this one doesn't. Just going to put him in a vanilla pose for a second here. I have in my hands the Select Iron Spider. For whatever reason, when Diamond Select does these figures, particularly Spider-Man, they make him full height. He's clearly supposed to be a teenager, but they make him the same height as everybody else when they do these figures of Spider-Man, which is really weird. But this one I picked up from a guy recently. Decent price. Really good price, actually. So there's a comparison between those two. Not much to really say. The blue on the Select looks like it's a little too blue, like it's too light colored. I think the Hasbro one is the right color of like that dark kind of thing that he's got going on. I just noticed there's some paint bleeding around his waist. Right up in here, we got some red dripping down, like they put on too much. What else? The Select has the bracers, the arm things. The new Hasbro one does now, the old one did not. Look, we got another bent finger here. This pinky's like broken. Yeah, your pinky can't do that. It is nice though that this Diamond Select one, the arms, the Iron Spider arms are painted. It's a really nice touch, although I am not at all surprised that the Hasbro ones are not. It's not typical to get a lot of paint detail on accessories from Hasbro. It just doesn't happen very often. Like Cap's shield, Mjolnir, you maybe get some paint on like some weapons, like Star-Lord's weapons, but for the rest of the MCU accessories, you don't get that much paint on accessories, so especially for something like these legs. But it doesn't surprise me, but that's easy to fix. You just got to match the paint and away you go. You can paint them up. But I will say though that the head on this guy is the wrong color. The red is too dark compared to the rest of them. But yeah, I think that's it for the Diamond Select one. The last comparisons we'll do are with the Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man, which, I don't know, I'm just throwing them up there for the sake of comparison. There's not really much to compare because they're completely different sculpts in every way. The feet are different. Yeah, everything's different. And then last but not least, I just put him a little bit on camera here. Here's the Spider-Man Far From Home Spider-Man. You'll notice he's carrying a purple sign. It won't be purple when I'm done with it. I'm going to paint it, but that's to represent that scene from Spider-Man Far From Home when he goes to finally defeat Mysterio once and for all. I thought that was such a cool scene that they did a little homage to when Cap has Mjolnir, so that's just a little something I'm working on. A little something something. I wanted to also quickly yeah, we'll just get the Iron Spider out of there. I wanted to show the Mark 50 next to the Civil War War Machine just to see how they look. Let's get this thing off of here. It takes up too much space. Because this War Machine is legit. Like, it is fabulous. And if I'm not mistaken, this is where it helps to do homework ahead of time, kids. I'm pretty sure this is the War Machine from Infinity War. I'm thinking I can't remember now. No, that can't be true because this is when he gets shot down and then is paralyzed. Anyway, they're close. I didn't show the Endgame one because the Endgame one is with the Mark 85, not with the Mark 50. So I didn't get that guy off the shelf, but this is definitely one of the nicest War Machine figures we've gotten. Next to the Mark 50, which is now the nicest Mark 50 that we have received from Hasbro. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This unboxing was way too long, but I felt it needed to be because we had Mark 50s to talk about, we had Iron Spiders and other Spider-Mans to talk about. It was a busy day. We had a lot to talk about today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Fan Expo approaches. Get ready. It's going to be insane. Yeah, it's going to be good. Be excellent to each other. We will see you in the next video. Peace out.